So Florida State signs a long-time commitment at running back Rodney Hill, who's a three-star prospect out of Statesboro, Georgia. He committed to Florida State over Virginia. Virginia was a school he was committed to much earlier in the process, but then changed his commitment to Florida State and has been with them for a while. Dominic Robinson here, who played at Florida State and has been involved in training athletes at 3D Sports Performance out in Arizona. When you've watched some of Rodney Hill's film, what does he look like? What kind of a player do you see in Rodney Hill?
The first thing that jumped out to me was this is just an absolute athlete. This is a guy who can do multiple things. I mean, obviously, he starts his huddle clip with a one-hand catch running up the seam. But you don't really know what this guy's going to be based on his film. As a pure running back, if that's what he's going to be. You just see a guy that's an athlete, which I think as a college staff, that's what you want. You want to take as many of those guys as you can possibly get, because those are the guys that are going to be able to, acclimate themselves to whatever you ask them to do, whether that's run the ball, catch the ball, whether that's run down to the field on special teams, whatever it is. And this looks like one of those guys that he's a guy that can do multiple things. It's going to be a DB. He could be a returner. He could be a wideout. I mean, he's got video doing all these things. So, I project him to be a guy that will probably redshirt as he tries to find his way and find his position and all of that, and then probably get competitive over his first 2 years, and then eventually head to settle in at his position and play the final 2 seasons as a starter. He's probably a guy who fits around that 2.25 rating that puts him in a potential red shirt, and then play his way into starting here once it gets to his junior year or redshirt sophomore year.
I think FSU fans who've been watching Mike Norvell's offense the last couple of years can probably, as you're talking through that, they can probably picture some of the what we've seen, the way they've used running backs here so far. You look at some of the guys that they've played at different positions, whether it's Lawrence Tofili, they'll split him out wide, they'll put him at running back. Ja'Kai Douglas, the real fast kid out of Louisiana, the same thing. They played him at multiple positions. Those guys have been on one side of the ball. But do you think is that what you see out of what Mike Norvell is doing, or is that what college football is going to? Just signing a bunch of 6'1", 180, 190 pound guys, and then figure out where to put them on the field.
Yeah, to be honest, as I looked at some of the Memphis stuff, I loved seeing it because I could see that there were 2 guys at Memphis that I didn't even know if they were wideouts or running backs. And I just think that's the direction that football's going. I think all sports, honestly, are going to positionless players. Put your best, in football, it's your best 11, basketball, your best 5, baseball, it's your best 9. Whoever your best, 11 guys are as athletes, you put them out there and then you can figure it out from there. So that's why guys like this, guys with versatility are incredibly important to any program because it's just the direction that the game is going.
Well, Florida State didn't have a huge need at running back this year. They do lose Ja'Shawn Corbin, who declared for the draft, but they bring back 4 scholarship running backs. And I think that a lot of people are excited about Trayshawn Ward and Lawrence Tofili and that backfield. So Rodney Hill will be added in, but as D-Rob was saying, it's probably not a guy you look for to make a huge impact maybe right away.